Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning. I'm a veteran of the...
What's your name? What's your name? Hello, Jake Man.
See, you don't understand the panic and dread that I have every time I do these intros, because sometimes we come in very hot, like, hurry up, let's go do this.
Let's get this going.
Especially today. This is the first of 5 podcasts I will be recording today.
And it's 4 p.m.
It's 4 p.m.
Yeah, 4
and
p.m.
then I have to go back to the office and do name graphics, which is ironic that
Hopefully
I fucked up my name.
Hopefully you get their name right.
Well, one of the people that I'll do a name graphic for is myself.
Yeah, Jake Man making his debut.
Let's do this again. So sometimes
okay.
Listen, a problem.
Just don't cut this out.
No, I'm leaving all this in.
Good.
The problem that I always have is my brain gets ahead of my mouth. And that's why my handwriting is so sloppy.
Okay.
Is because my brain gets ahead of my hand. My brain is working too fast. I just took 2 alpha brains.
That'd probably be why. Maybe took 1-on-1 ratio.
Yeah, well, it'd be...
Maybe take some alpha hands or alpha mouth.
But so here's the thing. I just took 1 this morning, so I'll be on my 3rd alpha brain midway through here. So if it seems like I'm on coke...
I'm on coke.
I'm being very method like Sam Sylvia here. So,
all right, we'll take 2.
Take 2. Here we go.
Quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning, and I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade, and I've held every single job except selling popcorn. I'm joined, as always, by my good friend.
You can go ahead and just say the name, man. Fuck.
No.
You think of something?
No, I'm trying to think of something.
All right, go ahead.
A man who...
I'm doing great, Jake. How you doing?
How are you?
Zane Riley here.
Zane Riley's here, and he's the only one here. And I appreciate you not wearing sleeves today because it's going to get hot and sweaty in this room.
No shit, because you don't use AC.
Well, I kicked it on.
Oh, shit.
But I only...
For Micah later?
Well, it's for me later because it does get rather sticky in here. I'm going to be in here for 8 hours.
Oh, of course, yes.
So I'm just knuckling down right now, so I'm making sure that once I open the door in between the podcast for like 30 seconds, I just get that blast of air. There's no air in here because I've closed all the vents. I've closed all the vents in my podcast
you don't want that.
Don't want that at all.
No.
We have a slow-moving ceiling fan, much like a film noir just above our head. That's
an overhead shot would be real good here, a little bit black and white.
Oh, absolutely. And me looking into like a bottle of gin or a bottle of bourbon. Just
and then I tell you where I was that night.
Exactly.
Take it from the top one more time. Where were you?
And I'm thinking like a dress with a slit down the side, showing off them legs.
Is that me or you?
I assumed it'd be you.
Of course. These thighs are very nice.
Yeah, you've got far better legs than I do.
True that.
Legs
so yeah, definitely a split.
Like
the cigarette in the little cigarette holder, like the little fucking Cruella de Vil gimmick.
Yeah.
That'd be that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you've been activating your glutes, I assume.
Oh yeah, of course.
Me on the other hand, my glutes are dying very, very slowly.
There you go.
But I mean, it just fits in with
no ass Manning.
No, well, flat butt Manning.
Flat butt Manning. Sorry.
Let's get it correct.
Sorry. I'll hear my bitch about it this Thursday, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. You're all about it. But yeah, actually, we'll be together this Thursday.
We sure will.
So if you're listening to this in a timely fashion, hopefully I am not losing my shit at the current $5 wrestling live stream. So
I'll be all jacked on Truly's.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
So will be Caleb, and he's got to pronounce names. Maybe he'll fuck up some names.
Oh, come on. You know he's going to fuck up names.
Oh, he's going to fuck up some names.
Yeah.
So.
We should just write him wrong for him.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably dumb enough. He will read anything you put in front of him.
I almost thought about, inside baseball. I almost thought about having his name graphic misspelled because it is $5 wrestling, and I know how he loves it when people misspell Connolly.
Yeah,
just fucking.
Oh man, add maybe an extra E or maybe start it with a C instead,
and then start Caleb with a K.
Yeah, all to back it up. Yeah,
fucking loves those. He loves those.
Caleb,
and he still fights it. Much like I used to fight the whole idea that Manscout is 2 words, that one. Now I just let that wave of misused punctuation just wash over me and just flow over top of me.
I don't like that. That was always my favorite part of your Twitter, was letting everybody know it's Monday and it's 2 words.
Well, I scheduled it. I made scheduled tweets and I would put it out every 8 days or whatever. It still hasn't helped. It still hasn't helped.
Still out there.
But
all right.
Speaking of flow.
Oh, shit. Oh man, that's a good title too. It's a good name.
It's a good title because we have sponsors now.
We do.
As we've been over before, we have sponsors, especially on our wrestling and pop culture, and we have a very interesting sponsor today that kind of ties in with everything.
Yes. It's always convenient how our sponsors seem to fit right into the topic of our show.
Which, the topic of our show, this is the Glow season review that we do. So just right at the top, before we ever get into the discussion of that or in the discussion of our sponsor for today, if you have not seen Glow season 3, go ahead and shut the podcast off. Go ahead and go do that and come back.
Or, as you might find from us here later on, just listen to this. You'll be all right.
Yeah, but, or
go ahead and support it.
Or just jump in and go with the flow.
Yeah. Ha! Speaking of flow,
ladies
and some gentlemen, I don't know your lives. Let me explain to you a good proper tampon. See, this week's episode is brought to you by Flow Heavy Duty Light Time tampons. Sometimes you get your monthlies, and you're so worried you're going to send your man out to the store. He's going to pick up probably the wrong kind. Well, don't worry. Here with Flow Heavy Duty Light Times, we take that away. The embarrassment is gone. You can get it in a fine 12-pack, 24-pack, all the way from the light times to the heavy times, super duty, and everywhere in between. Your tampon Flow can be heavyweight, but lightweight in that pocket.
Absolutely. And these monthlies, they come like gimmicks, like gimmicks in the mail. They keep showing up every single month. And sometimes, ladies, you need a man's touch for your flow.
Sure do. And these things, they're biodegradable. That means maybe you're swimming out in the ocean. Maybe you get done right in the middle of it. You're like, oh, I'm no longer on a monthly. Well, I've got this tampon in. Let's get rid of it. Pull that out. Let that float out to flipper. These things are biodegradable. They'll be gone in a week.
Or Jaws, because we all know periods attract sharks and bears. That's what we know as men.
Yeah.
And that's why this is the first ever all-man tampons.
Yes, they're produced. Everybody from the top to the bottom. The president is a man. The person that puts it together is a man. The string braider, that's a man. The boxer, man.
Because sometimes that time of the month, you just need a man's touch.
That's right. You heard it from us. Please run out as soon as you can. Meet our sponsors, Flow, Heavy Duty, Lightweight.
That's right.
You can buy those online using the promo code HDTGB.
How did this get booked?
There you go.
How did this get booked? We have the longest promo code of all time because we have the hardest time making the promo code. Like, what do you want for a promo code? They want something short, concise. You want the initials for your show? Like, no, have them tight. How did this get booked?
Yeah, because if you really want this product discount, you'll put a little extra time in. The same way these men put a little extra time into your product.
Absolutely.
Fucking nailed it.
Very, very happy about our current sponsor this week. Yeah. Very, very happy to have them aboard here on How Did This Get Booked.
Thank you, Flo.
Yes, thank you, Flo. Thank you, Aunt Flo.
Yes, well. Increase.
But also to some more thank yous to the people who left reviews.
Oh,
I actually mailed out 3 T-shirts last week.
Holy cow!
So
had a lot of a DM time there.
Yeah. I was spending all kinds of time in the DMs, just interacting with people, getting their shirt size and their mailing addresses, and not going to do anything creepy with it. Promise you that much.
Yeah.
But I got to send a big thank you out to our former person who was sitting on top of the poll of Apple Podcast, E. Flamberson. I actually spoke with E. Flamberson via DM, sent their T-shirt out in a timely fashion. But I got to say a big thank you to Donnie D94, who left a review on Apple Podcasts. Also, too, I got to send a big thank you out to I believe, Mikkel or Michelle sisters. They are sitting on top of the poll. Apparently, her boyfriend listens to the podcast.
Oh.
Got her involved in the podcast.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, why doesn't she?
Yeah.
Or they?
She does now.
Okay, well, good.
She does now. She now leaves a review. She will now get a free T-shirt. All she has to do is just slide in my DMs and give me her mailing address and her shirt size. Now, I know
with her boyfriend's consent.
With her boyfriend's consent.
If we need to send it to him, that's cool, too.
Or not. I don't know what their relationship is set
up.
Be open. Trust is a very, very important thing when it comes to relationships.
Sorry, you got to say that
and I believe that Michelle or Mikkel sisters has utmost trust in their relationship. But I also trust that people will also leave a review on Stitcher as well. And Gabriel Kidd is still sitting at the top. I actually mailed his t-shirt out last week as well. He's part of that batch that I sent out. So thank you, Gabriel, for that.
Gabriel, don't go changing.
Don't go changing. So right now we will say the Michelle sisters and Gabriel Kidd every single week until somebody dethrones them. And all you got to do is just leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher, and you will get a free t-shirt by merely just sliding into my DMs and leaving your shirt size and your mailing address. Also, too, give me your name.
That'd be cool.
But, so I know what to put on the package, because some people are like, just like their screen name is E. Flamberson, and I can't really put that on a package. So just,
I mean, you can. It just might not make it all the way.
Once again, I know this is a whole creepy process where I got to know your address and your actual name and how big you are when it comes to shirt sizes.
You know, if you want to throw in maybe a credit card number, even though it's a free shirt, or maybe your social security number, that's cool too. That's just so we can make sure it gets there in a timely fashion.
Or also, too, if you want to, like...
blood type.
Blood type, your... Oh, you say blood type or butt type?
Bit A, bit of B.
I want to know what your butt type is.
Yeah.
Do you like them flat?
Like
because I'm your guy.
Are you supple? You like a supple? You like supple butt?
Well, that's Zane Rattler.
That's right, that's me.
Right. So we got to know, are you on team flat butt or are you on team the supple butt? That's all we want to know.
Old supple butt Riley.
Oh, supple butt Riley.
God damn, I got to change my introductions to the ring.
I already have.
How much time have we killed?
Oh, we've killed like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be great.
This is going to be great, but I hate to say it. I really do, because it's kind of... The Glow season review has been kind of like... or maybe one of our few, if only, recurring things that we have on the podcast.
Yeah.
And first season of Glow.
Other than themes.
Yeah. And I remember when we did season 1 of Glow, the discussion was like, man, this might be the best thing we ever discussed.
Yeah.
On the podcast.
Of course.
And, we probably had a couple things that are probably in the ballpark of that are just as good. But it's still top 3.
Yeah, of course.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Top 3,
easy.
one of the best things we've ever discussed, had to watch for this podcast, and was glad to watch.
Very.
Season 2, pretty close to that.
Yeah, more the same.
More the same. We're very happy with that. Now, season 3, though.
Guys, we're real sorry. We are going to... I hope you didn't see this and you're like, fuck yeah, these guys are going to do a real good job about talking about how awesome season 3 was. Because it's fucking not. A lot of things are accomplished here, but a lot of it I didn't give one fuck about.
Yeah, there's a lot of... I think I disliked more characters than normal.
Yeah.
Like there's like...
a lot less redeeming qualities in this.
there were a lot of people like, ooh, I don't like this person.
Yeah.
Or like, I just found out about this person, I don't like them. And also, too, like, oh, I really liked you and I don't like you anymore.
Yeah. Like, how is the cheating husband... Liberty Bell's cheating husband, the only redeemable character in this one.
Yeah, he's got a redemption arc. I don't know. I feel very weird and conflicted, and I know people are complex and they're messy, and that's what we're doing here. But yeah, and also too, like, there's not a lot going on. Like, I'm sure filming this season was great.
Yeah,
because it was all in a casino. There are a lot of similar sets. And you're just kind of locked in. And I think that might have been also a creative choice. Yeah. Because you're trying to convey that kind of just the Groundhog Day nature of having a residency at a casino in Las Vegas. Yeah. But it, as a viewer, you're like, oh, Vegas, and you don't really see Vegas. You just see...
You see the inside of this one casino, and then you see a fucking dirt casino, and then you see the desert.
Yeah, which, by the way, when they get to the desert, like episode 6, hands down the best episode.
Of course. Where they all discover themselves, basically, and each other.
And I think there's a lot of, like, ground laid that was helpful to make episode 6 as redeeming as it was. Yeah. So I feel like it was good from there, but then all of a sudden, like, the next episode, you're like, what? Yeah. What's going on? Like, and let's...
Hold on now.
Yeah, let's kind of just take episode by episode.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that.
You just have to take, like, some overviews of everything. I
binge watched all of this yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Oh, my head is fucking full.
Also, keep in mind, as we're discussing this, we watch this show. There's going to be another show that we're going to discuss, and then the next thing we're going to do after that is the Lucha Libre series.
Yeah.
That's also on Netflix, and that's 5 episodes. This is 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So basically, we watch 15 episodes for basically 2 episodes of our podcast.
And then the Lucha Libre one is completely in Spanish with no English dub or anything, so you had to read it all and watch it all.
You had to be very engaged. We couldn't be on our phones
Shit.
whatsoever, and that was very tough. Like, at least Glow, you could kind of like, all right, let me check.
I can listen,
I can listen, and anything pops up, I can hit the back button, but not on that Lucha Libre. I had to be engaged. Whole time. So basically, we watched, I don't know, like.
But was it 10 hours about as we did?
About 10 hours of content just for 2 episodes of this podcast.
Yeah.
So our brains are kind of fried.
Yeah, so if this sucks, we tried real hard, guys.
Oh,
hopefully the front end was loaded enough for you to let us slide on this back end.
Yeah.
Because of our great sponsors over at Flow.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Let's get it going.
Let's get the flow of this episode
Here we go,
going.
Guys.
So episode 1 is basically all based around the Challenger explosion.
Yeah, holy fuck. So they start setting it up, and they're talking about it, and she's shitting on it. I was like, wait a minute. Didn't the Challenger explode?
You didn't know?
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. And then the small unravel is she just keeps going as Zora, and then everyone else around her reacting was probably one of the best moments of the entire season 2.
Oh, I liked episode 1. Like,
yeah.
I was, like, the whole thing being around the Challenger explosion, I'm like, as a guy who is a stand-up comedian who is listening to the darkest jokes possible at open mics at midnight, I loved it. This is my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Loved every bit of this. Give me more Challenger jokes. The world is not full enough with Challenger jokes. That's where I feel.
Especially then.
Especially then. Especially right off the heels of it. But we're also introduced to a new character played by Geena Davis, Sandy, who's the entertainment director.
Yes.
So she's fantastic. So it's good to see that.
Good character.
Great character. Absolutely. I'm trying to look through all my notes and stuff like that. They also have free chips for the girls, so the girls can like go perform opening night, just coming off the Challenger, all of those things. And they talk about having a moment of silence on the show.
Or if they're even going to have the show at all.
Yeah, have the show
and
at
they
all.
ask Geena Davis's advice, and she basically gives them no advice.
Absolutely. None whatsoever. None. Not a bit. And then, of course, like the party after the show is space themed, so Bash is running around trying to figure that out. That's always wonderful. Yeah. Oh, yes. There's a couple lines in here that I thought were kind of interesting. Sam makes a comment of 45 minutes of people taking off their coats, which made me think of George South immediately. Yeah. And then there's another line.
They're running through that dry run through or whatever.
Yeah.
The pacing of it.
Mm-hmm. But also, too, like, one of the things I really liked about Glow that was kind of like a tip of the cap, and it felt like oh, you understand about pro wrestling. And episode 1 had the one and only example of that through the entire series.
Okay.
Was when they brought in the choreographer with Geena Davis, the short guy, and Geena Davis, Sandy's introducing and saying this is wrestling. This legendary choreographer goes, I used to wrestle in high school. Which is, if you tell anybody, like if you're a pro wrestler, and you tell anybody that you're a pro wrestler, and you're talking to a person that's a civilian, for lack of a better word.
Yes, of course.
They will go to you like, oh, I used to wrestle in high school. As if they just can't let me have that.
Yeah.
They have to let me know, like, oh, I know exactly what you do. I did this thing in high school.
I love, mine's always, oh, what class are you? Oh, go fuck yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because I'm still in collegiate wrestling as a 35-year-old man.
Yeah, they were trying to get that out of the Olympics a few years ago.
Yeah.
And you think that that's my career path? Yeah. Like, that's a lonelier career path than actual professional wrestling.
Exactly.
Like, but yeah, I just...
What class are you? Fucking fat, man. What number is that? Write that number down. FF.
That's me.
Yeah.
But yeah, they always like, oh, I used to wrestle, so I understand. It's like being on a Netflix show or being Leonardo DiCaprio and somebody going, I used to take drama in high school.
Yeah.
Not even be in plays, but I used to take it as a
drama.
class. Yeah. So it's even less than. Yeah. So it's not even. And it just... but there's just those little moments, like in the first 2 seasons, where they're like, oh, this is something that Chavo or somebody who's a wrestler contributed to this, or this is obviously a careful eye of the producers that they've picked up over time. And there would be like little nuggets of that as a pro wrestler in previous seasons, where I'd be like, yeah, you know what it's like.
You get it.
And this line is one of those things, but we never get anything like that again.
Yeah.
But it is all more about everybody's character at this moment in time. We've set the scene, we've set up the stage, and it's all about the characters now. But
some of them don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like there's only like legitimately one wrestling show and another wrestling match. Like the Switch episode, and then the final thing where she just has to wrestle old girl as Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, like there used to be a lot more wrestling. I think that's the thing that I most turned off, or the thing that didn't engage me enough.
Yeah,
there wasn't enough wrestling in this. There really wasn't.
Yeah,
and I think
compared to the first 2 seasons, not at all.
Yeah, and that was the thing that I really enjoyed about this show. But there's some people that probably like very engaged with the characters,
of course.
And
like, I think we could have learned just as much about these characters and had more wrestling. And kind of like the last 2 seasons have just been like, character development, but also they're wrestling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could have had more of that. We could have spent a little less time in certain story areas. But, fuck me.
But if you really liked season 3 and you liked the character's development and they took more in a direction that you liked, because, we got the introduction of Bobby Buns' character, which...
Fucking favorite character of the whole episode. Season.
Yeah. Fucking, like...
Best.
Like, introduction of his character is amazing. I'd love to see a spinoff with him and Sandy.
Just
really quite honest.
Yeah, just hang out.
Yeah, just hang out and just do your own thing and work at a casino. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
and I dig that. That's awesome. And I think a lot of like female wrestlers that are big fans of RuPaul Drag Race, or women who are fans of female wrestling, and they like RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, then they probably like season 3.
Yeah, but
the elements of Glow that I like don't exist.
Yeah.
In this season, and that's my toughest part of this whole thing. But not to be a male, but there we go.
There it is. Whoa! You guys just heard our it's complicated bell.
That's our complicated bell.
Yep.
Just comes off. It's complicated.
Yeah.
I must say, Allison Brie in this gold dress at the end of episode 1, amazing.
Oh yeah.
And we get a shot of her topless in here. And most dudes would be like, "Oh, look at the boobies." Yeah. I was like, "She is jacked. Her diet is on point."
Yeah.
This whole season, she did an amazing job getting in shape.
Yeah, of course.
Hands incredible. Mm-hmm. As a person who is struggling to have abs himself, and
thinking on that Allison Brie diet,
and understanding that like women getting abs and being like shredded and jacked in that much of a shape, that it's like 3 times harder.
Yeah.
And also, too, like, you're a woman, there's certain areas that have to be soft. And then also trying to be tone in certain areas. Like, trying to tone one area, but then soft in another. That's just complex, where me as a dude is like, just solid everywhere.
Fuck it all.
Yeah, fuck it all. Make it all hard as a rock. Do whatever I do. Punish all this. Do all this.
I'll deal with it later.
Or, like, as a woman, you got to navigate that. So, kudos to her for working.
Yeah, for sure.
Working that hard during this whole series. Unbelievable. But episode 1 could have used 5 more Challenger jokes, just because.
Yeah, just
because. But
we can say that about every show.
Yeah, absolutely. I really feel like
Friends could have done more with it.
Breaking Bad could have had a couple of Challenger jokes. I would have got on board.
Yeah, on board. I would have cared more about it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
Maybe there will be some in the movie that's coming out on Netflix in October.
I haven't seen any Breaking Bad because I have not been told how many Challenger jokes are in
So if you guys watch our show or listen to our show, you can't really watch it, I don't think. So if you guys listen to our show and then you watch the Breaking Bad movie, if there's any Challenger jokes, please hit us up.
But
or some of your favorite shows that do have Challenger jokes.
Because everybody and their brother comes up to me and they're like, have you seen Breaking Bad? And I go, no. And they're like, you should. And I'm like, I don't know. And then usually they walk away and they stop talking to me and think I'm not cool.
Yeah.
When really I'm like, no, fuck you. Your whole personality is based off of quoting lines from The Office.
Exactly. Suck it.
So if they would just stick around long enough to hear my next question, which would be, how many Challenger jokes are in Breaking Bad season 1? If they told me 8, I'm like, okay, well, I'll give it a watch.
I'll give it a look.
I'll give it a look, and I'll get invested.
It started slow, but it got there.
I got there. But where we got to next was episode 2, the Hot Tub Club. Just basically talking about their day off. This
hit home.
Did it?
The hot tub and like Awesome Kong's need for it. That's not this part. It comes up in a little bit.
Her back problem.
Yeah, her
episode.
Oh
yeah.
That hit home way hard.
Probably even for her because
it's got to be true, really.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Kia Stevens, who plays Welfare Queen, Tamay. They backed off the Welfare Queen. They used to refer to her as Welfare Queen a lot, and they've backed off now, and they've used her character name
different
a lot
time,
more.
Brother.
Yes, they've definitely changed that a lot. But Amazing Kong, she had a lot of back issues throughout her career, and it's been something that she's always had to deal with for her entire career. It's always like a big problem. So her getting into character for that
very easy
and kind of heartbreaking.
Oh, very much.
When knowing that some of her back issues probably have shortened her career.
And a very good career.
Even still with the back issues. And then like here she is playing that out like art imitating life. It was very, very sad. We haven't got there yet.
No, I was saw Hot Tub Club, and then I remember the gift at the end. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but Hot Tub Club is a Sam and Ruth episode, which are always the better episodes. I feel like. There's
I know where we are.
You know where we're at, and this is the one where Britannica gets sick. Rhonda, I believe, is her real name, but I just kept writing down Britannica, and misspelling Britannica
each time, different ways.
Just as many times as I wish I could misspell Caleb Conley.
I was about to say, as many times I'll misspell Caleb Conley on this next $5 edition.
And this is where like Bash is kind of learning to be in a relationship.
Yeah,
where it's this person needs you, and it's always that thing. Because
he even talks about how like when he was sick as a child, they just basically shunned you away until you were better.
Which is what I want.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
me too.
Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I'm at my best, get the fuck away from me. That means I'm rolling, motherfucker. Get the fuck out the way. Like
this one is just you're in the way. I'm sick. Go away.
Yeah. I'm always telling the person I love to get away from me.
It's one of my character flaws and traits.
And one of my strengths.
Yeah.
Debbie is shown in like first class, and she's going back to see her kid, and that's showing the whole juggling act of that, and going back and seeing her kid. And we discuss it, just shines a light on like gender roles, and then the fact of like women judging other women because of kids, and then feeling that way. And
she has a real good fucking fuck you to the stewardess.
Yeah, and men are never asked, like as far as your kids, and I think that was something nice that was explored. So. And
then we get introduced to the guy. I never JJ is his name.
Yes.
Tex. JJ. We get introduced to him, who I thought was going to be an awesome character. Like I thought was real cool, up until the payoff of it all.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. But we meet JJ here. We don't know it yet. Though.
We don't know. We don't know how important this character is going to be, but this actor did a very good job, except for what they asked him to do.
But the big fuck you on the plane was the highlight of this.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's a lot of things. I think a lot of deep things set up that in episode 2, I was like, okay, well, we're going to discuss some things because Arthi and Yolanda's having issues. And the overthinking issue, and then Sam professing his love, and just the whole issue. And I think about this a lot recently, like being in a working environment with a woman, and as me being a man and a single man, and it's like, oh, I really dig working with you and hanging out with you, but then there's that issue of like, you're a man, I'm a woman, we're jiving here. why can't... And
Yeah.
it's one
Could
of the...
this be more?
Yeah.
Why couldn't it? And why shouldn't it?
Yeah, but then at the same time, too, like, you and me met, jived, we were cool,
Yeah.
and everyone was like, this big guy. Maybe. It's just that weird thing of, like, why can't... Like, that whole, complex thing that happens. And I think a lot of women in predominantly male situations, or especially, like, in wrestling, like, like... hanging out, why can't we just be friends?
Yeah.
But male, female, just friends, and that's what it is. And it always seems like the guy falls for the woman. It seems like to me in a lot of situations, or like the guy's like, I just want to fuck her. When it's and I'm sure that's heartbreaking for the woman. We're like, I just want to be a contemporary.
Yeah.
I want to be your
peer,
pal, be bud, your pals. Like there's one particular girl right now that's very much like being very buddy with me, and in the back of my mind, I'm like. My dumb fucking man brain's like, what's going on here? Is she flirting with me? But then I have to remind myself, like, no. She's just trying to be a friend, man.
Yeah.
She's awesome wrestler, fantastic person, really dig her. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be this person's friend.
Yeah.
Like this is
times.
Yeah. Like tons of respect for her.
Mm-hmm.
And like me trying to put those gross feelings to it is going to ruin all this.
Of course.
And I think she's fantastic, funny, hilarious, and I enjoy every time I see her.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to take that out of it, like those gross feelings, and just be like, yeah, you're a dude, bro, as well. And just like, and have fun and make jokes and, just goof around.
Yeah.
And just be that. And then that's something that's kind of discussed here.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, like, that's setting up for a larger discussion there, much like we're having a much larger discussion with Arthi and Yolanda, much like we're having discussion of gender roles of a mother and how women associate with that. And then also, too, understanding what it's like to now be in a relationship with Bash and Britannica. And we don't get any of that. And all those complex things that could have been the story or the overarching themes of multiple things, they just, like, nope, that's all we're going to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw those things. I'm like, okay, well, these are some things.
Well, those are things that we aren't going to finish discussing right now.
We're not.
We leave them open ended, or leave them open. Just there's no payoff on some of them.
Yeah. And I would like a larger discussion on all those. And predominantly the show's predominantly written by females, and I'd like their perspective on it.
Yeah,
because I feel like entertainment can be educational.
Yes.
But at the same time, too, it's not your job to educate me.
Gotta educate myself sometimes.
Gotta educate myself sometimes. Episode 3 starts off in the gym. This is where we get the dance class with the wrestlers. Mm-hmm. We also get to see the Sklar brothers.
Man.
Which we should have saw more of them.
Yeah.
Them being like Vegas showrunner scumbag fucking assholes.
They totally should have showed up more than the one episode.
Yeah, and they really should have got their comeuppance.
Yeah.
Because they just came in when they were just fucking douchebags.
Yep.
I don't think they got their comeuppance.
No, not at all. They were just told to get the fuck out of the room, and they got out of the room.
Yeah. Like, they should have, there should have been an effort to fuck them over.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been a whole episode of interest.
Just fuck these guys.
Yeah, fuck these guys.
Yeah. Which we meet because Bash is trying to spread out the women wealth here, and him and Sam play some tennis with the Sklar brothers, and basically all they do is just bullshit and chat and jerk each other off, which all this leads to a very important theme for the rest of the season. They fuck off, and then Bash and Sam play, and Bash just beats the shit out of Sam. Mm-hmm. Who just wanted to actually play some tennis. And we realize how... We start to mess with how old Sam is and his...
mortality.
Yes, his grapple with mortality.
Absolutely. One thing that I think Glow does better than most shows, probably better than any show that I've seen, for sure, and I've always appreciated this, is how they handle nudity. Mm-hmm. In that...
It's never a sexual way.
It's never a sexual way, but also, too, it feels like if the women are going to be topless, the men are going to go full frontal.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, hell yeah.
Like the men...
we do get a dick in this season.
We had a dick in this episode.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We get a dick.
One of the best parts, but one of my more infuriating parts.
Yeah. How infuriating?
It's... Love the dick. Dick was great.
Okay.
This is something between those two. It's between, what's his name, Paul?
Yeah.
Paul and Melrose. which is what happens there is funny, but there was never any more conflict between the two. And I would have liked his whole thread of, you haven't heard the last of me, kind of come back to play.
And then, like, no, we're just boyfriend-girlfriend now, and you pay for sex.
Yeah, and then, it just kind of fizzles out, and a big moment occurs with Paul again at the very end of the season. But this here particularly, I was like, man, I really hope this comes and pays off, or, like, they have to now fuck Paul over, or something like that. Or,
Yeah, they just got caught in a midnight cowboy situation.
Yeah. They each think they're... Melrose thinks that Paul thinks that Melrose is a hooker.
Yeah, the midnight cowboy situation.
Yeah, because everybody knows that one. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't know the midnight cowboy situation?
If you don't know the midnight cowboy situation, guys, just go ahead and hop on off this podcast.
But no, like, it always feels like, okay, if the women are going to be nude, the men have to be more neuter.
Yeah,
you know
for sure. And I'm there for it.
Yeah, and that's fine. I appreciate that. Understand, like that one season where it's like, okay, well, Mark Maron, you have to show your ass too, because these girls will show their ass. And he's like, all right, cool. I like that accepting of this, and then kind of, tipping the scales a little bit more evenly, because it's always been like, it wouldn't be a How Did This Get Booked episode if I didn't bring up a James Bond movie.
I was waiting.
Where I believe Rosamund Pike, who was in Die Another Day, she was, I believe, asked to strip as part of her audition, and I don't even know if she had a love scene in that movie. They just asked her to get naked.
She just be naked.
Movie. Yeah, we need to see what you look like naked as part of the audition for Die Another Day, which is weird because James Bond is actually, that franchise is run by a woman. Hey. So that's weird.
It's a different time. Where's the different time bell? Ta-ding!
Yeah, where's that problematic bell?
Complicated bell time.
Complicated bell time. Complicated bell time.
That's every wrestling show ever.
That's definitely the episode you might be watching right now this Thursday as this episode comes out. And then I make a note because we get a Cherry and Keith discussion, and
Keith is a great character too.
Yeah, I did Keith.
He's one of the only last baby faces, and he babies up even more at the very end.
Yeah,
he's even more good.
Well, that's the thing, is like they're the best, and then it gets, Keith wants kids where Cherry doesn't, which
we don't know that yet. Yeah, she's all for it at this point.
So, yeah, fine with me. Cherry, you check all the boxes.
Yeah,
you don't want kids.
Come on, Junk Chain.
Yeah. Well, it's not Junk Chain, remember, because Junk Chain turned to Yolanda because Cherry left, and then she came back, but they already had Junk Change. Junk Change,
You get it. Don't worry about names.
You get it. I have problems with G's today.
Yeah, you're closer to that name than your own earlier.
Absolutely. Episode 4, Say Yes. This is where Ruth's boyfriend, forgetting his name right now.
I forgot he was a fucking character.
You forgot his character.
Until like when they started, like when Sam confesses his love to Ruth. And she's like, but I've got whatever. And I'm like, fuck, I forgot he was even there.
Yeah, he's a thing, and he pops up in this episode, and this is where we get introduced to Bobby Buns, and
hell yeah.
Fantastic character, great fucking addition, love every bit of it. This is also like really weird interactions with Ruth and her boyfriend throughout. We also see an appearance of Carlito.
Yep.
He's filling in as a ref.
The only time.
Yeah, because Keith just basically left fucking town.
Yeah.
Also, too, I thought it was kind of ironic that Ruth's character has a fanny pack on. I don't know if she's wearing a fanny pack because it's the 80s or because she's a wrestler.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure what
not
that
enough
is.
fanny pack in here regardless.
Yeah, not enough fanny pack. I want to feel like that fanny pack was a nod to pro wrestlers, much like the line earlier of I used to wrestle in high school, but I can't be for sure.
Yeah.
I can't be for sure. This is also when people are trying out for Bash to be a part of the show, like we have the Magician.
Yeah, everybody's getting jobs all of a sudden.
So, yeah. Not a lot that happens in this episode.
No, then we have the initial relationship between, was it Billy, or what is our favorite character's name?
Bobby Buns.
Bobby and the wolf girl. Sheila. We have that the seeds, the beginning of that relationship.
You know what? I think Sheila probably one of my more favorite characters. Like, it was very one
Yeah,
note,
she stays good the whole time.
but like there's some real development there,
Yeah.
where she was just very one note,
Mm-hmm.
where I feel like it was very intelligent to like, okay, this character's one note.
Yeah.
Let's put some more dimensions here. Let's develop this character. Let's make this character more.
That was a story I gave a shit about.
Yeah. I think Sheila's character is definitely the person I care the most about. And probably in this whole series. And a couple others. We'll get there when we get there. But, yeah, I think there's some stuff explored in this episode. Just the whole problem with entertainment.
Yeah.
Where you just need one person to say yes when a room full of people across the country love you.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what this whole episode was about. And, yeah, very poetic. A little better episode than maybe I alluded to a few seconds ago.
And the more we talk about it, I think we're going to convince ourselves the season wasn't as bad as we initially sat down to talk about.
I mean, as I discussed in episode 4, that kind of hits the right fucking notes for me.
Yeah.
Don't so much about episode 3. Episode 2 had.
I think we're gonna appreciate it more. I'm still not gonna like it as a good season. It's still not the best season.
Oh, we still have to have a long discussion on whether or not we're gonna do season 4.
Yeah,
so we need to talk.
But
about
I think
that.
we're gonna end up liking this a tad bit more than we expected going into this. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, still didn't like it. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, but keep in mind though, episode 5, Freaky Tuesday.
Now that's a good idea. I thought this would bring a whole lot more heat. I thought this was gonna be a bigger issue than it was.
Well, this is also the sore back episode.
Yeah.
So that's where we start, and
which is the reason we had to do Freaky Tuesday.
Freaky Tuesday, just so we could get to like the fact that Tame could play like one of the Bettys and not have to move that much. Which is smart wrestler, right there. But yeah,
we run into Tame's issues with her back being all fucked up, and we do this really nice montage of what every single night, because I don't think we really take into consideration that even though there's not any wrestling in these episodes, they're wrestling 7 days a week for 3 solid months until later on when it becomes more.
Yeah, I think that maybe that's something to take in consideration too, is that they're not going to be wrestling that much because they would be wrestling a lot in these shows. But like, this would have been a good episode to put a little more wrestling in. And
it's just a montage of her sliding into the ring, doing a thing, and it's just that exact same segment, like, over and over and over again, but it's her slower to get up, wake up in the morning, take a hot shower, take some pills, drink some wine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just that constant over and over and over and over.
Can't go to the doctors, I'll just get in the hot tub later.
But, when everybody flips, their characters and we're seeing a lot more of what the show is, I think this would have been a good time to have some more wrestling.
Yeah.
I feel like this would have been...
Instead of just entrances.
Yeah, like, usually about episode 5, episode 6... especially in past seasons, they've given a pretty good wrestling episode.
Yeah.
In there about this time.
Yeah.
And to say that this is the wrestling episode in the middle, this is where I wander a little bit.
This is where it just gets problematic everywhere.
Yeah.
All the complicated bells go off.
Oh, yeah. There's all the complicated bells, except for Betty Gilpin as a Russian, though.
Wow.
I will complicate my life for that.
Yeah, no shit.
I will.
It was real good.
I will complicate everything.
And Ruth switching over to Liberty Bell was cute. Different takes on it. But then we get the real fun. Well, then we get this whole new setup of Fortune Cookie and Melrose being best friends, and then Melrose going out there and doing an insanely offensive Chinese accent and portrayal.
Mm-hmm. And then this is also where Sandy, the entertainment director, she loses her mentor, and then she's going to see the show, and this is just happens to be the show she's going to see, is where everybody mixes everything up.
Yeah.
Also, too, Sam is now reffing because they need a ref.
Yeah.
And then his daughter is there, and that's going to be the first show
she sees.
And and then Sam's daughter and Sandy end up sitting together, and I fucking love this dialogue where Sam's daughter goes, "My dad's in the show." And Geena Davis, who plays Sandy, says, "My father figure died this week." Fucking just
love it.
I love the fucking line.
Yep.
Love that fucking line. Like, I was like, ain't getting better than that.
I love Downward Spiral, Geena Davis. Yeah. She's my favorite.
You could have ended the whole episode there.
Would have been better.
Would have been better, but we would have missed out on Russian Betty Gilpin.
Yeah.
So, Yeah. So, and I just Sam reffing with his hands on his hips like the entire time.
Yeah.
Just
a little Piss Wally out there.
yeah, just kind of like, I'm here.
Hey man, whatever.
I mean, come on, Chavo, just give him a little direction other than just hands on the hips.
What do I do with this?
What do I do with this?
But see, this I felt that this was going to be more problematic than it was as far as what it would mean to the show. Like, you guys really fucked it out there. Geena Davis hates it and wants to get rid of us.
Yeah,
like a different conflict.
There was no conflict from this. There was no stakes to
there was
it. Really.
There's never any real conflict.
There were stakes, but then it was like, oh, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, that seemed like a lot of things. Like, oh, there's real stakes to this, and they're like, nah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I just feel like there was a lot of that. But, but it is everything is almost feels like a slow burn to episode 6. Outward Bound, where they all decide to take a camping trip, which is kind of like the first time they've been outside of the casino, really.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to tell you, it must have been super fucking cheap to film this season, because they were reusing a lot of the same sets and hotel rooms, and could have done this all on a sound stage and just turn this around pretty easily. Yeah. So, I did like that Ruth was talking about Lake Okeechobee. Okeechobee? I think I said that right. It's in Iowa.
Okay, I was going to say why.
That's why I was frustrated. Because it's in Iowa, so that's why. And then this is where we talk about managers, and then it's just very like, oh, Captain Lou, Bobby Heenan, and Cyndi Lauper. It's like, oh, we just name check these people to let you know there's still a wrestling show, and I felt that was just very, very odd. But this episode is my favorite.
Yeah.
Of the whole season. This is where a lot of the stuff that had been kind of set up got knocked down. This is where Sheila's tipping point as a character was.
Has her vision.
Has her vision with a wolf. This is also Debbie and Ruth. Every time that they get together and they're real with each other, it feels like their characters grow. This is where Ruth realizes she's in love with Sam, and this is where everything kind of develops. But also too, like, this is the episode where you take Jenny, who's just been in the background and would get a line or two in here or there, like, gets this amazing scene where she just talks about her family and being immigrants and what that is and what that means.
Why that hurt her.
Why that hurt
Melrose
her.
did.
Yeah, and just... Yeah. Like that. I was like, fuck yeah. I like this episode. Because it just feels like the characters moved in this episode. Like, I think, Melrose kind of moved in this episode. Sheila moved in this episode. Jenny moved. I think Yolanda and Arthy's relationship moves a little bit. And then you get small movements from Ruth and Tammy and Debbie. But they're always driving forces. Yeah. But, like, I feel like I finally, like...
Brings the rest of the ensemble to the forefront.
Yeah. I was just very happy with this episode. Felt like fucking the goalpost was moving, or they were moving down the field to get to the goalpost, more like it. And it just, everything else just didn't feel like that the whole season. And there was some real movement. But then I'm like, okay, well, you're setting it for this. But, yeah. So then I went back at the beginning of the notes. I'm like, wrote down at the beginning, like, make sure you watch, like, make sure you make it clear to everybody who's listening. If they haven't watched, like, at least get to episode 6, because that's where everything turns around.
Yeah.
And then we get to the rest of this.
And then the rest of the season happens?
The rest of the season happens.
There's a couple things we haven't touched on that we probably should have. We'll go back to it. I remember a couple.
Okay. Well, maybe it'll come up with as far as the progressions go. Yeah. But let's get to Sam. Episode 7. Sam is left at the end of episode 6.
She goes to confess her love to him, and he's just gone.
Just gone. Debbie's baby gets out. It's on the casino floor. This is where we circle back around to JJ Tex, who's now clean shaven. And this is where
they start their little relationship.
Yeah, and
that goes really well for a minute.
Yeah, kind of like
she's a cool character.
Yeah, just old man dating a younger woman. I'm just like, oh, this
after she's been the older woman fucking all these young boys.
Yeah. And I just like, oh, well, this is what dating is going to be like for me in the future. That's basically like the note that I put there. This is also where Bash ends up getting like $40 million because he's actually legit married, and Birdie like signs off on it. And
Birdie and Britannica have this bonding moment that they didn't expect to have.
And Sam is with his daughter, taking around with the script because
Supposedly she wrote a real good one.
A real good one, and people are worried about Sam because they know it's not as good as anything else that he's written before.
Yes.
But he's called in all these favors to get her meetings, and as soon as he gets some success for her, he has a heart attack.
Yep.
So, yeah.
We also see all the bridges he's burnt along the way.
Which is great.
The Buddhist guy. It's like,
love it.
You're a Buddhist now? Yes, I am.
Yeah, the fact that the fact that he's Buddhist and he thinks of revenge because Santa did that much evil shit to him, fucking love it.
Yeah.
On par with fucking Jake Manning when I have to go around and beg for my illegitimate son to get a job in professional wrestling and all the shit that I'm gonna have to eat just to get him in.
Yeah.
Or daughter, I don't know.
Either way.
But I probably won't have to beg my daughter to get in. She'll probably get in.
She's probably right away.
She'll be very talented, and everybody will see that right away.
Beautiful light-skinned girl.
Yeah, beautiful light-skinned girl. They're going to hire her immediately. Or my son, I'm going to have to pull a lot more fucking strings. Because he's also kind of a fucking moron, too. So, also this episode 7 was directed by Allison Brie. That's why you don't see a lot of her in this episode. So that explains why. But yeah, that's kind of where we move on episode 7. And then we get to episode 8. And this is where they just flash forward. Right away at the beginning.
Where
Ruth sit down and like they're celebrating the 50th show, and then it just flash forwards all the way to December 1986.
Yep, because we've now had the bad Bash heel turn. Here, which we kind of glazed over. An episode or so ago, maybe it's on the death episode. Geena Davis offers them an extension to the end of the year. Originally, it was just the first 3 months. They were done in March. And they were going to take it to the end of the year. And basically, everyone was like, no. And then Bash has this whole, well, this is my fucking company, no matter what you guys think you are. I own this goddamn thing. We're going to do whatever the fuck I say. And everyone just sort of takes it.
Yeah.
Except for Sam.
But at the same time, too, like, Sam's going to get his money either way because he's a producer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, it's got to... Having a residency, like, yeah, sure, it'd be psyched to do the same exact show over and over and over again, and that's a complaint. And yeah, it would feel repetitive, like this montage is conveying. But at the same time, too, I don't think you're paying for your room.
No, you're not paying for food.
You're not paying for food. So all the money that you're making is going right in your pocket.
But this is also where we kind of establish that the money's not the best for the girls.
Yeah. But
we established that in the last episode.
Yeah, but Jenny's like demanding more money. To do
because she's doing all the costuming and
being a seamstress, and she's happy with that money she makes. Like she seems like she's happy with the money she's making wrestling, but she feels like she'd be getting more because she's doing more.
Gotcha.
And they're like, yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, well, I guess his money's good enough for that. Like, and some of these other girls are like, okay, well, I'm just getting money for this, and like, keep in mind Britannica was living in her car.
Yeah.
And now she's...
Well, she's got $40 million now.
She's got $40 million now. I mean, Metal Rose just had like she had a limousine as a regular fucking car.
All right, maybe I was wrong about the money there.
So, like, I mean, it's...
See, I'm all for a residency. Let me residence up.
Yeah, I'm for it. I'm not against it. I mean, I'll probably go crazy, and after when I'm done with it in a year, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, give me a year where I'm just like, all right, well, I'm going to kind of put rest of a life on pause, make some fucking money, and not have to worry about anything else, and then I'll come back to what life is all about. So, this is where Cherry gets into trouble.
Okay, I did not think that was it.
Only $5,000 though.
And it never really. Does she ever pay it? Did they even say?
I'm guessing this mud wrestling she did paid all of it.
All of it? Wow, the two of them together.
Yeah.
Okay. And I knew that was like the way they were going to make the money, but they didn't say like, oh, here's your $5,000 for mud wrestling one time. I would fucking leave.
Yeah.
If she's making all this money in residency, or she's making money in residency, but making more money to go have one mud wrestling match, I'd be mud wrestling every night.
Or do the residency and then do the mud wrestling, and then you real money. Up. Then you're making all kinds of fucking money.
You're making Bash money then, bitch.
Which, as we've discussed before, Chavo Guerrero is a stunt coordinator on the show.
Uh-huh.
He had to do testing for this mud wrestling.
Yeah, you did, Chavi.
So I feel like that's a a very big waist, a very talented individual who could have
I like to think that somewhere in Vegas one night, Chavo and Carlito had to go to a live mud wrestling show and had to mud wrestle each other, and we just never heard about it.
Well, there's video of Chavo wrestling some of the other stunt women in the mud.
Oh, okay.
It's on his Instagram, so
so it's there.
It's there. So it wasn't Carlito, but he had to wrestle the people to figure out how it was going to look and what they were going to do, and pre-planning for this.
Yeah.
But he had to be a stunt coordinator for mud wrestling.
Nice.
Which you have Chavo Guerrero.
You ain't got no goddamn wrestling though.
Yeah, you could there could have been. You didn't call him in for arm bars and some other stuff in the middle wrestling episode. So but you call him in for mud wrestling?
Technically, this is the wrestling episode, if you think about it.
I don't know. So this is where... Is this the episode where Britannica tricks Bash?
I think that's the next one.
The next one, I think.
Yeah, because the last one's when he's freaking out about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So... Oh, this is where... I believe the episode where Bobby calls out Bash.
Yeah. No, I think that already happened.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're right. You probably already did.
That was when he first tried to get the job and they turned him down.
Okay. All right. This is the episode where Debbie is being accused of resting on her laurels, resting on the fact that she has a rich boyfriend and not producing anything.
Yeah.
And she's going to produce this AIDS benefit for Bobby Buns.
Yeah. Which is episode 9. Correct?
Episode 9, the Libertines, which is a Libertine ball.
Yeah.
What is a fucking Libertine? Do you even know?
I don't know. I can ask the Google.
Why don't you ask?
I'll ask the Google. This is a really good episode.
I like this episode. If they would have skipped over, if we got to this a little bit faster after 6, because episode 9 put me in the feels. Just everything with the fact that this is an AIDS benefit and it's in the 80s. And we've had this whole discussion with Arthi and Yolanda and just Arthi, learning what it's like to be gay in the 80s. And then, Debbie being concerned how JJ is going to handle her. But they don't even, make a big deal about it. That she's concerned about it whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I don't think
she just lies to him to get him to go away. So she doesn't have to worry about it if he doing this thing.
But that's the thing, though. She's just I got a girls thing. And in my dumb man brain, I was like, oh, she's got a girls thing. We're going to do another team building thing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're doing this benefit thing. I'm like, oh, that's the thing. And I didn't even
either. Yep, totally.
I bought the lie. I bought the lie because because there wasn't that discussion of oh, this could be a bad deal with JJ, or JJ might not be accepting of it. But then this motherfucker shows up and puts money in that
and just cool about it. And then basically admits that he had a nephew that was gay and killed himself.
Oh, if you just, it's putting me in the feels right now.
Yeah, man. He's great right here.
Any time where you think a fucking person's gonna be one way and they turn around and they completely fucking surprise you in life, or in TV or characters you think are going to just fucking shit the bed as fucking human beings, and they turn around and they be fucking awesome. There's nothing better than that. I could watch that all day. Fuck dog videos and cat videos. It's the
villains being good guys.
These people who are an archetype that you think are going to act one way, and they turn around, they're accepting. Much like, perfect example, Gary Schmidt, the Schmidt family, where I grew up. They were super fucking Catholic. So Catholic, no birth control. They had fucking 18 kids. Anytime that old Gary had sex with Mary Schmidt, they had another kid. That's just how it was. They were so Catholic, and every one of the kids had saints' names like Matthew, Mark, every one of them
John, Paul, Ringo.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah. So, they have all these fucking kids, very Catholic, very, very religious. They're going to church 3 times a week. Don't even say goddamn in their fucking house. Scout leader. And I was very good friends with a lot of their sons because of scouts.
Yeah. They were the rest of the troop.
Yes. Basically, Kevin was a year above me. Mark was a year below me. Matthew was 2 years younger than me. And,
yes, St. Kevin.
Yes, St. Kevin. And Matthew, you knew at a very early age that Matthew was gay.
Okay.
Like, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And being in a very small town in Iowa, in the time period that I grew up in, there's going to be an issue. And knowing how religious the Schmidt family were and how religious people get around homosexuality, it was going to be an issue. And I remember talking to Mark, because Mark and I were very good friends, because we were going like a year apart. And usually me and Mark, we would, share a tent together during Boy Scout camp. And I remember talking to Mark late one night, and I go, what do you think your parents are going to do with Matthew? And Mark's just like, I don't know. I really don't fucking know how my parents are going to react. And like I was like, a discussion that we would have late at night as like teenagers.
Yeah.
Young men, like feeling bad, like what's going to happen with Matthew? Like just the idea of like, his family could fucking shun him. Yeah. This is like a family. Yeah. Like they're very close.
Like a real one.
Yeah, like they're very. That's another thing. Not only are they Catholic, they're very close knit. Like the older ones take care of the younger ones, and it's this big, tight knit family operation that they've put together. And then the idea that they would kick somebody out because of their sexuality was like, oof, this is bad. And Matthew's a good kid. He was great. He was also friends with my sister Lindy, and just like he was a nice guy. And also, I even like shared a tent with Matthew. Like we were bunkmates in scout camp together, just because Mark and I were good friends, and Mark worked at the camp that I usually went to. Where like, so I was like, all right, I'll watch over you Matthew, Matt. We'll bunk together, just like I bunked with Kevin, just like I bunked with Mark.
Yeah,
bunked with all of you. And I remember going off to college, and I was just like, man, it's getting about that time where I'm going to have a very, very interesting conversation. I'm going to feel very bad about what the family going to do. Well, Matthew came out, and know what his parents did? They loved him.
Oh, well, good.
They accepted him. They loved him. They didn't give a fuck what a fucking book said.
Yeah.
Or what some hellfire and brimstone fucking preacher on a television said. Mm-hmm. Like, this is our son. We love him no matter what. And then he had a partner. They loved the partner. And then some of the other kids in the Schmidt family came out.
Oh, shit.
Because they felt comfortable enough. And you know what Gary and Mary did? They loved their fucking kids.
Amen.
And there's this wonderful picture, and I saw it on Facebook, of like their fucking 18 fucking kids and their kids and their partners, and just in this big group photo that's like massive. You had to have a wide angle lens. You had to fucking, it's like a fucking whole town of fucking people that I thought was just going to break up because of fucking what their religion was. Yeah. But instead, these two people decided to love their family.
There you go.
And the things like that just make me fucking happy. And that's kind of what this whole thing with JJ reminded me of.
Well, good. We're about to take that the fuck away from you. A libertine.
Please tell me what libertines is to cushion this blow.
Is a person, especially a man, who behaves without moral principles or a sense of responsibility, especially in sexual matters.
So us?
Yeah, I'm a fucking libertine.
I am a fucking libertine and a half.
But yeah, we have this fun little deal.
Yeah.
They put this little ball of everyone doing their these performances and stuff, and then we have a very robust, loving lady.
Let us not fucking glaze over the fucking fact and the balls of Geena fucking Davis.
Yeah.
Let us fucking give a fucking round of applause for that. For having the fucking courage.
And looking fucking great.
And looking fucking great. And just owning it and just being like, yeah, I'm going to dress up like a fucking showgirl at this stage of my fucking career. Fuck you. Love it. I look fantastic.
Yeah.
Fucking love it. Fantastic. Fantastic. Great fucking job, Geena Davis. Unbelievable. And then, of course, this whole episode ends up with it being a hate crime,
Yep.
and then just pulls you back down. A lot of goddamn emotion in an episode.
Yeah.
Fucking just reminding you not only how shitty things were back then, but how shitty things are now.
Yeah.
Really, there's no...
Really haven't gone too far, it seems.
Really fucking haven't gone too far at all. And that's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what episode 9 reminds us of. Episode 10 tries to remind us what Christmas is. But, I don't remember Christmas where somebody would give me this wonderful, nice gift on explaining to me who a human being is and then make them a complete shitbag.
Yeah.
15 minutes later in the middle of a binge of an episode because all of a sudden Tex, who is super progressive, is like, nah, you're a woman. You bleed it once a month. You don't know nothing about business. Like,
admits that he only had her around to make the dinners not suck so much while his business meetings, and that it made it more bearable, and that she was good to look at during the meetings.
After you made all this like
progress, and you just blew up your bridge.
I've had a hard time wrapping my brain around that.
Yeah,
like that's like the one thing that really kind of soured me on probably the whole series. And the only thing that I can come up with is in the same sense that has happened over years of entertainment, where you have, male writers who don't know how to write for women. So we always hear, and the show is predominantly female writers. Maybe this is them. Turnabout is fair play,
that's
motherfuckers.
Right. Here you go, guys.
Here you go, guys. We don't understand how a man like this would work, so this is what we're gonna do. That's the only thing that. So if that is what's going on, that is why writers' rooms that have. People talk shit about this, like, I know a lot of fucking comics that are like, fuck it, I can't get a writing job because I'm not black or a woman. It's like, no, fuck you. We need all people of color, all people of walks of life, all people of experiences, so we can get the most fully formed characters in a writer's room.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we need. So my hope is that there weren't enough men in there that were saying, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this.
Nope.
So,
we need more women saying, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, and so I think it's just a situation of maybe that, or like, we don't care about this character anymore. Yeah. Let's just dump him right away. But as somebody that got behind him, like, 15 minutes earlier,
yeah,
it was fucking
guttural.
Because like I said, I just gave this long story from my childhood of what I felt when I saw this moment in a series, and then to see him go, I'm a fucking man.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, like that. It was frustrating to me.
Yeah.
So that would be what I would say.
And this is the only person to ever get comeuppance. Because then she starts to take his investments from him.
This is true. She took that at the TV station, because now...
The last one they had talked about.
Yes, to get... glow back on TV and change the characters and go back to LA, I guess, is the process. Hopefully be more wrestling if we do that season 4. This is also where we get Bash just having a breakdown.
Well, we didn't really talk about it after we said that was the episode it did.
Yeah.
So everyone knows Bash is gay, and then...
Everybody.
And then we bring our buddy Paul back, our good friend Paul, who Britannica gets to... flirt with her enough to get him jealous to see if it's happening, and he doesn't, and then he's just watching for a minute, and then they go and they fuck, and they have a 3-way, and then basically Bash and Paul just jerk each other off for a little while, but then we have him accepting, well, what we think is him accepting that he's gay, and acknowledging it.
And listen, if he's with Britannica and this is their thing that they do in the privacy of their home.
Rock and roll.
Fine. And just come to terms with that.
Yeah.
And that's mostly what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend of mine that I felt like struggled with not admitting that he's gay. And I felt like that caused a lot of problems in his life. And I would just be like, dude, just say you're gay. Or bi or whatever, or however you want to classify in your life. But you fighting with it is making you a fucking asshole right now. And just never coming to terms with it. And I think maybe that's what's going on with Bash, and maybe that's why there's all these big fucking swings as a fucking character. Yeah. We're setting up for that to have this big turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
But then Bash was like, no, I'm going to be a good Christian man and buy this TV station.
Yeah.
So, which is weird.
I'm not gay.
But know what else isn't gay? Christmas.
That's arguable.
So basically, they do a wrestling show. It's basically around the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And there's always the big wrestling scene in the last episode where you have the big wrestling match.
Yeah.
Little underwhelming.
I mean, Ruth is doing fucking shooting star presses.
Yeah, it was a moonsault.
Well, you're right. It was moonsault.
It was a moonsault. Pretty cool moonsault.
Yeah.
And that was cool to see. But also, too, like, in the 80s, and that's not a finisher?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Somebody's mad. Somebody just Undertakered up.
Oh, yeah. For sure. We get to see a Gory Buster.
Yeah.
Which, Chavo.
Right on.
Good little nod to your dad there.
Mm-hmm.
So, matches was what it was, but could have been a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I did like the concept, like, we're trying to plant you into this light grave that's in the middle of the ring.
That's neat.
That was cool.
Just the way they actually kind of take away the fact there wasn't wrestling in it, just the way they shot all of this and kind of made that the concept was awesome.
Yes.
There's just no wrestling to it.
No. I mean, it was fun.
There's no wrestling in what is the very last episode of a wrestling show that has had no wrestling to this point.
And usually the last episode wrestling...
The balls to the walls.
Oh, that fucking last season with the wedding, and then Chavo getting in there, doing all the fancy stuff, and then the season before with this big build to Libertyville versus Ruth's character, like just getting to that, and then having that match be as good as it was. Like, and this didn't have that, unfortunately. But we did get Keith coming back as Santa Claus, saying he's down for adoption, just being proven to be a fucking good guy. We felt a little bad about him. And then Debbie fucking steals a TV station.
Already comes out as like straight up gay to everybody, and everybody's like, yeah, we know. And they got her a Rainbow Pride bandana or a little sweatband.
But everybody's flying home to or wherever they're going. So, and we get this weird fucking scene with fucking Debbie and Ruth, where I don't know where either of them are going for season 4. Like, I think I'm supposed to feel that.
Did Ruth just quit, or
did Ruth quit, or what is she continuing to do, or I don't know. And the thing is too is like maybe I'm just confused because I so see it Debbie's way. We're like, go make all the fucking money in the world. Of
course,
that's why we're fucking doing this. And get all the power, get all the fucking money to do whatever the fuck you want to do. And Debbie she fucking leveled up. She figured out a way to do what she wants to do, how she wants to do it. And that's all you want in life. And Ruth's like, nah, rather be a slave to the grind and keep doing these auditions.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Season.
And that's where we leave it. So, I don't know, man. It was weird.
Yeah.
Episode 9 was great. Episode 6 was great. I suppose you could surmise that you'd have to watch the earlier episodes to think that those episodes are as good as they are.
Yeah.
But you might be able to skim over
some of them. You can watch them double.
Yeah. You could definitely like be on your phone and kind of pay attention to the first ones, first like 5.
Yeah.
You know, unlike the fucking Lucha show we're going to be discussing next.
I still don't know what I watched. So, things we skipped over that had no payoff. One was Liberty Bell's bulimia.
Yeah.
She starves herself for a while, and then her and Ruth eat, and then she goes and she starts to puke. But she only does it one time, and that's the only time it's ever acknowledged.
There was a lot of stuff that just kind of got laid on the table, and we never went back to.
Yeah, kind of like Cherry's money issue.
Yeah. We never went back to that.
One thing they brought up that I never took into consideration about it, but they had to eat a casino hotel buffet every day for food. That is just like, wait a minute, that just seems like so. Like at first I was like, that's rad, and then I was like, no, wait, that's fucking awful.
Yeah.
All you get is buffets every day of the same kind of whatever bullshit food. Ugh.
But if you had grilled chicken and broccoli every day with a little bit of rice, I'd be fine with that. Yeah. I could get down with that. And then eggs, just some scrambled eggs, a little bit of oatmeal. That's all I fucking need. I try to eat the same thing every day. And I'm fine with it. But I'm also the same guy that goes, bland food.
Yeah. Raisins in my potato salad.
Yeah. So
those are some things I remember that didn't get paid off well. It's really all I can think about. That we probably missed a bunch.
Yeah, I mean,
so you could hear our disdain about this, but you could probably watch something and see some new stuff we didn't talk about because, again, like it got real mind numbing after a while.
I don't think the season was made for us.
No,
let's be honest here. I don't know if the series was ever made for us.
No,
really.
It's not. Yes, it's
except for the
wrestling.
wrestling.
Us not men, us wrestlers.
Yeah,
let's say that.
Yeah, like I think the first.
Of course,
seasons,
this show is not made for dudes. It's about the growth of women and all of that, and their the way they're treated and everything.
Yeah,
so it's not made for dudes. It's made for women. But as wrestlers, this was not our season.
Yes,
we had 2 other seasons.
Yeah, and I'm happy about those 2 seasons.
Yeah,
season 1 and 2 for us as wrestlers, fantastic. I think it honored the spirit of professional wrestling. But this one, what I was looking for in season 3, and I thought I was going to get because of what I'd gotten before with seasons 1 and 2, I did not get in season 3.
Yeah,
and that's fine. It's fine. It's completely okay. So, like I said, this was never made for us to begin with. We were watching it because it's pro wrestling related. I'm happy that
this is what we do every year.
I'm glad that we got the seasons 1 and 2, but if I don't see a lot of wrestling in season 4,
yeah, we're not doing an episode.
We're not going to do a podcast on it, and that's But like I said, you may think that Glow after season 3 is the best thing you've ever seen, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's great, and I'm happy for you. But like I said, it was never made for us as dudes. It only happened to end up on our plate because we're professional wrestlers, and it scratched that itch. But season 3 did not do that. So that's that. I don't have anything bad to say about it.
No.
I
just wasn't kept entertained by it. I finished it because I had to.
The things that I like about it weren't in it.
Yeah.
But like I said, wasn't made for me. And I hope, and I'll be honest,
I not say there wasn't bad parts. Like we obviously liked a lot of things about it. Just the way it was the way the whole picture was painted was not the art I wanted.
Absolutely, and I hope there's a season 4 because people get work and continue on the story, and then maybe there's going to be much more wrestling to it, and then I can jump right in like, oh yeah, season 3 was an anomaly, season 4 is going to fucking rock, great, fucking awesome. But at the same time too, if it doesn't, it continues on this path, and you enjoy this path,
good
on you.
Leave a review about it.
Yeah, leave a review.
Get a t-shirt.
I don't think they're giving away T-shirts. That's only our thing.
That's what I meant. Leave a review on a podcast.
I think Netflix is doing fine. I don't think they need to beg people like we do on the podcast. But
that's how we got where we are.
Exactly, and we got where we are because of people like Gabriel Kidd and the Michelle sisters.
And Flo, our sponsor for this episode.
Flo from the sponsor. So Zane Riley, this is coming out this Thursday. Is there anything you want to let us know about that you got coming up?
I'll be at $5 Wrestling this afternoon or evening, whatever you want to call it. I've got other shows, but who gives a shit? I got like a PWX show coming up. I will be doing the Lucha Libre Charlotte, as I just found out today, due to some cancellations.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to put my hood on, Bubba. Dirt Wildebeest will be there doing Wildebeest things. And, yeah. Yeah.
Are you doing that thing on the coast that we discussed?
No, I'm going to do your thing. Michael never followed up.
Oh, okay.
He's like, where are you at this weekend? Morganton. Never heard another word.
Oh, all right. Well,
I don't want to work for him and for Ricky Nelson, and the money will not be good.
Okay.
So.
All right. Fair enough.
I'd rather just wrestle an hour away from home and get home in time.
Fair enough. If you're listening to this in a timely fashion, like I said, we will have the Carolina Stampede tonight.
Is that iPay-per-view as well?
Not so much iPay-per-view as it is a live stream.
Okay.
You have to be a member of the High Spots Wrestling Network.
Okay.
You get to see it for free. So, that's how that is. So it's more of a live stream than it is.
But it will be up in a live fashion.
Yes, it will be in a live fashion at 8 p.m. tonight. Then I am going to be at Northeast Wrestling tomorrow. What is it? Friday, September the 13th. Because I just got my flight information.
Oh, good.
For that.
Flyboy! Look at you.
They paid way too much. They should have paid for the flight much sooner. It should not have cost that much. And the match that they're advertising me for right now is Not that great, but I'm expecting that to change.
Ooh. We'll talk.
I hope so. Then Saturday, I'll be in Morganton with you. I'll be running the Burke County Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Then this Sunday.
And that is a $5 production?
It is a $5 production, but tickets are like $6 or $8 or something. It's a whole rigmarole. I'm solely doing this show in Morganton this Saturday to set up some storylines for upcoming shows.
And I'll also be at that.
Yes, you'll also be at that. Also, this Sunday against Sunday Night Football, I will be doing a stand-up comedy show here in Charlotte. Great.
And Night of Champions, such I will be at.
Oh, Clash of Champions, yes.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's Clash of Champions. And then also, this upcoming Wednesday, September the 18th, I'll be making my bar wrestling debut.
Ooh.
So, if you're in LA,
coast to coast Manning.
If you're in LA and you want to be like, hey, fuck you, you fucking mansplaining asshole, fucking douchebag for not liking season 3.
You don't know anything about Flow or Glow.
You don't know about either of them. I will be there at Bar Wrestling. I will be wrestling Jervis Cottonbelly.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
So that's very fucking rad. And then I'll be doing a bunch of interviews with guys that are part of BOLA. And then I'm going to be doing the Queen City Comedy Experience at the end of this month of September 2019.
Hell yeah.
Anything else?
No, man, let's go home.
Let's get out of here because we got a lot of other shows to discuss. So we got an interesting show coming up. Make sure you check that out. And where you can check that out, you can check that out at How Did This Get Booked? I almost said highspots.com.
Highspots.com.
We had the mention before.
Whatever.
You go to How Did This
You almost did it again.
There's a G in it. That's the problem. There's a G. There's an issue. Go to howdidthisgetbooked.com for more information about upcoming shows. I'm going to do a better job of updating that. But if you want to yell at me and say I mansplained to you about Glow Season 3, you can get up with me at ManScoutManning on Instagram and Twitter, or you can email me at manscoutmanning@yahoo.com. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify. Once again, if you switched over to Spotify, take a screen cap and then tag me in it, and I will tweet out that we are on Spotify now. Let people know about that because that is a new occurrence for us. But what's not a new occurrence is how good a job Don does at Six Squirrel Studio. And we can't thank you enough for that, Don, but we can't thank you enough for listening to another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
Woo.